right, you guys, let's talk about your posters. So I want to make sure you understand how you're going to be evaluated at the SAGE Symposium. Again, it's not going to be me necessarily. I'll be there, but the people doing the evaluation of you guys in terms of assigning you grades, that will be an amalgamation of various folks. Some will be ESRM faculty, some will be other faculty from other programs, and there will be several folks from outside CSUCI that you may or may not be able to figure out that they are formally evaluating you. So here is the form that they will all be given, and so I'd like you guys to use this when you're checking over your poster and determining whether it's met the criteria you'd like it to meet. After it's great and professional the way you like it, go through this rubric sheet and make sure that you've hit all the things that need to be hit, and that as you're thinking about how you might describe it if someone asks you about your research, make sure you're able to address all these different components. Now, what's going to happen is it's a two-sided form here. The judges will have both sides. They're going to write their name down here. They're going to give you comments. Hopefully, it depends on how much time they have and everything, but hopefully they'll give you some feedback here on this left side. On this right side, I'm going to staple all this together. I'll put a staple right here, a staple right here. Then you go up to a paper cutter and cut this off. You will not get this side back. This is for confidential feedback. If they want to tell me something, if you guys, totally chundered or you did incredibly fantastically in terms of your articulation of the data, whatever. You will get this side back. So if we run through this really quick, you're going to get a score. They're going to look at your poster and say, hey, was the work that you presented here, was it significant and the larger implications clear from your poster? Number two, was the purpose of the project, the motivation, the hypothesis, was it very clearly stated? Next is whatever approach you took to try to address that hypothesis, was it appropriate to get at the question that you had articulated? Next, whatever conclusions you presented and the conclusions you drew, was that really truly supported by the data, or were you just making stuff up, reaching, saying I think it could be that kind of scenario? And then lastly, were the conclusions tight? Were they really concise? Was it really clear what the meaning of this study was? Was it really clear what the takeaways from this study were? This first part was on the content that you are presenting. The next part is in the actual professionalism of the presentation. So first, was the poster well organized? Were the graphics really clear? Was it a just very easy to follow flow of the presentation? And was there a good feel that not everything was crowded, not everything was spaced out a bunch? Was it a nice balance? Next, when they're talking to you, when they're asking a question to you or whomever, are you engaging professionally? Are you looking them in the eyes? Are you answering their questions directly? Are you leading them through stuff in a respectful manner, in a professional manner? And they might have one or more specific questions for you. So tell me about this. You mean to tell me X? What about Y? And how you respond to all that will go into the score here about how you respond to questions. And then the last few here are just everything all together. So both the content and the professionalism, all of it just together. So what was the overall takeaway? As this judge walks away from your poster, hey, was it all that stuff, they just hit it? Was it really fantastically well done? Was it okay? Was it poorly done? The general approach that you guys took and the processes you took overall throughout the entirety of your capstone. And then lastly, did you lay out the management concepts? And was the application of this really clear? Several of you guys have asked me about the actual mechanics of the presentation. How's that going to work? Until we actually get into the library, we won't know. So we might be in the poster room, we might be in the main floor, who knows, but we're going to be somewhere. And wherever we're going to be, there's going to be these whiteboards up, and there's going to be little numbers, and you're going to get your abstract book, and you're going to go find your number, and you're going to go stand by it before the general audience enters. So you're going to be standing there. You're going to be standing there the whole time. You'll have a little name tag on. You're going to be dressed professionally and waiting there. If you guys have a little demo thing, you can have your demo in front of your poster, but basically you're going to be hanging out there. Friends might come by, and that's great. Talk to your friends. Your parents are there. Introduce me to your parents, all that good stuff. But your main job is to stand in front of your poster and interpret this great work you've been doing for all these many months. Tell us what it was like. Tell us what you found. Share the excitement with us and whoever is there in the library.